Today I'm going to show you how to format your papers for MLA Format. MLA Format stands for the Modern Language Association. It's very important that before you start typing your paper that you set up your paper for MLA Format. The first thing you want to do is go up here to Page Layout and set your margins. On the top ribbon it says Page Layout. I click on that, and then I go to the margins icon, click on that, and then I go to the normal setting, which is 1 inch top, bottom, left, and right, and we're ready with our margins. Then we go back to the Home tab on the top ribbon, and I want you to notice there are two rectangles up here, one for font and another one for paragraph. In the bottom right hand corner of both of these you will find a little arrow with an angle sign above it. Each of those will bring down a little drop down menu where you can set your font and your paragraph settings. So the first we're going to do our font. I'll click on the little arrow. Notice it's set right now for Calibre. We want to change that to Times New Roman. You can either scroll down or just type it in as I just did. Click on it here. Make sure that the size is 12 point over here on the right hand side, and we're ready to go. I click OK. Now we go over to the paragraph rectangle and we go to the little arrow in the bottom right hand corner. Click on the arrow, and we want to go first to our line spacing, which is kind of in the middle here. Notice it says multiple, it might say single. You want to make sure that it says double. And we go over here to spacing, and this these two little boxes here will allow you to put extra space before each paragraph or after each paragraph. Microsoft Word defaults to putting either 6 or 10 points after every time you hit enter, and MLA Format requires that to be 0. So set that to 0. Then you want to click on this little box here. Don't add space between paragraphs of the same style, and we are ready to go. Click OK. Now you can start typing your paper. Start the header with your name, first name first. You type your instructor's name. You type the name of the course that you are taking, and the period number, if there is one. And then you put in the date the paper is due. If you don't know what date the paper is due, just be sure you go back and change this date before you turn in your final draft. Now, one way to do this is just to type it. Let's say it's due October 11th. You put in the day first, you put in the month, and you put in the year. Now, another way to do that is to go up here to the top ribbon again, where it says Insert, and go to Date and Time. Click on Date and Time, go down and find the format that looks like the day, month, and year first, which we have there set, and it could just type it in that way. Okay, but since I know this paper is going to be due on the 11th of October, I'm going to make sure it says that even on the rough draft. Next I hit enter. Now I'm going to put in my title. Now to put in my title, I'm going to go back up here to the Home tab, and you'll notice these little icon boxes which will allow you to justify either to the left or to the right or to the center. Right now we're justifying to the left. The title needs to be justified in the center, so we click on that. Notice your cursor moves to the center of the page, and you type your title now, or a placeholder if you don't know what the title is going to be yet. Hit enter again. Notice we're still in the center, and we do need to left justify again, so we'll go up here and click on that icon, or you could just hit backspace. That will also work. Okay, now we're ready to start typing our paper. First thing you do is hit tab. You want to indent 1/2 inch to start each paragraph. When you're finished with your first paragraph, hit enter. Hit tab again to start your second paragraph. And so on. Now there's one more thing that we need to do before we're ready to go. We need to put page number and your last name in a header. The way we do that is we go back up here to Insert, click on Insert, and we go to Page Number, click on Page Number. Now if you just hover above the top of the page, that's where we want it. This little drop-down box will pop up, and we want the third one down, plain number 3, which puts the number over on the right-hand side. So I click on that, and then I type my last name, and I make sure that it's Times New Roman. It looks like the same type style as I have here in my paper, because we set the default that happened. But sometimes if you didn't set the default, you might have to go back in here and go back to Home and highlight it and make sure that it is Times New Roman. Now there's one more thing you want to do before we finish with this header. You want to go up here to this little box here that says Different First Page. Click on that, and notice that the name and page number disappeared from the first page because we don't really need it here. We know this is the first page and your name is here, so we don't need it a second time. However, I'm going to go up here to insert a page break to show you that it does show up on page 2, and if I set another page break, you'll notice it shows up on page 3 also automatically. When we're doing our research paper, you're also going to need a works cited page. Okay, so you can put the works cited page in at any point once you've started typing your paper, but you want to put a page break in there so that you make sure that the works cited page will always stay on its own page. Our margins will stay the same, Times New Roman, everything else should stay the same now. First thing we want to do is center our title and type Works Cited and hit enter. And again, we're going to have to left justify by going up to this icon. Now we're going to go into paragraph and set our hanging indent under indentations where it says special, and click hanging because we want hanging indents for our works cited page. Click OK, and there we go. Now when you type your works cited, when you get to the end of your first citation, you hit enter and you enter the rest of your citations. And we're done.